have a heavy burden, it's all I've seen and know. It's more than I can handle. But your word is shut up like a fire, burning in my bones, and I can't let it go. And when I'm weary and overwrought, with so many battles left unfought, I think of Paul and Silas in the prison yard. I hear their song of freedom rising to the stars.
Good morning, everybody from First Baptist Church. We're out here at Campamento Converge, where the team's been for the last week, building this cabin that you can see behind me. All we started with was this cement foundation, and they built the entire thing in a week, and it was awesome. And so I'm just so thankful that you sent this team to us. It was a blessing. These cabins, we've got 2 of them. I don't know if you'll pan to see the other one. We've got 2 cabins, and the desire is to get about 6 of these cabins. Each one would have capacity for about 4 to 6 people. And we hope to use these places for pastoral retreats, just if local pastors that need to get away with their wife or kids or something for a weekend. Missionary retreats. I have a dream to try to do probably every 3 to 4 months a special thing for women here, missionary women, to just come and relax and seek the Lord together. We'll also be using these as volunteer housing for our disabled camps, for short-term teams, and so we are super excited about this new project, and the cabins are adorable. So if anybody would like to come and join a future team, we want to invite you to do that. Also, even just to come and help us out with a disabled camp, it's a bunch of fun, and to get opportunity to share Jesus with different kids with different disabilities. We do 5 camps a year at this point. And we'll also be doing one for parents of kids with disabilities this year. And then we've got our 5 camps, one for the deaf, one for the blind, one for kids with cerebral palsy, and 2 for kids with different mental disabilities. So it's been where the Lord has been opening doors for us, and it's been a blessing and just a neat thing to be able to do. To my knowledge, we're the only ones doing anything like that in this place, and so we're trying to get this camp all accessible for the disabled and just equipped to be able to handle these kind of camps. And so thank you to everyone at First Baptist Church for your prayers and your support. I love you, and thank you guys for all that you have done for me. I'm grateful. Come visit us here in Honduras.
Trip to Honduras, God used my language skills to translate back and forth between English and Spanish for the team. The Lord taught me on this trip to love sincerely. The Hondurans displayed such exemplary love towards Christ and others by serving. In the same way, I ask God to fill me with this love every day with everyone and everything I do.
Buenos días, Dios les bendiga, hermanos norteamericanos. Estamos agradecidos con ustedes por la bendición que traen aquí a nuestro país, Honduras. Muchas gracias, Dios les bendiga.
This is about, for Terry and I, this is about our 4th or 5th short-term trip to the camp. We've had others in other places, but this is about the 4th or 5th to the camp. And every time we've come, we've worked on something different. This time, it's this cabin. It just is incredible to me all that has taken place in 10 years in making this camp usable. And it's being used almost every single weekend, and all of the bunk beds, every bunk bed was built by First Baptist Church. The dorms were put together by First Baptist Church. This cabin was built by us. The casita was worked on by us, and so First Baptist Church has a lot invested in this camp, and it's being used to the glory of God, and it is going to be used more and more. Every month it's getting used more and more.
Well, 10 years ago my trip to Honduras started when we were meeting with Ken Davis from Compassion International. Actually, he was with Lighten Up and Live. He was giving a talk, and then he was showing us some kids, some bunch of cards with kids on them from what we would call third world countries. And as we were passing the cards around, Lois and I decided that we would take this one that had brown hair, brown eyes, and a sad smile. So we started to support him. And it only takes about 10 cups of Starbucks, 10 cups of Starbucks per month to support a child. So we started doing that, and then this trip came about, and then I thought, well, maybe I could visit our compassion child. His name is Isaac Benitez Chavez. And as the trip started, I started to realize that his name is actually Isaac. So we got to visit with Isaac over at his village of Suyapa. It's part of Tegucigalpa, and it is a very, how we would say, high-density population living there, very much against United States codes of ethics and conduct over there. It's kind of a bad neighborhood, they would tell me. The streets are dirt, rock, and just barely enough for a car to move down with a person walking on the side. So we visited with Isaac and his family, and we got to exchange gifts and blessings, and we got to see where the project Compassion International actually starts for him, and it's called the Project. And one of the interesting things about their project is it's got to be supported by a local church, has to run it. Compassion International helps with the education and things, but they do not help with the buildings. And they're building a new building, 2-story, to house more rooms so they could have more children. Currently they have 200 children. And the church completely funds the building and the labor to build the project. And this kind of reminds me of the widow's mites, that they are giving out of their poverty to help people. One of the interesting things I also learned was out of the 200 children, only 3 of them had visitors. And since the inception of that project, and we were blessed enough to be one of those visitors.
I just want to say thank you to the First Baptist Church in Prescott for all the hard work and dedication and love and commitment. And yeah, it just has been a great blessing to have you here again. And you are always a blessing to us. Thank you for the new cabin that you guys put together. And yeah, we hope to have more of you coming in the future years. And it's just beautiful to see what the Lord is doing through all of you here. Thank you for blessing us and for loving us so much. God bless you.
I want to thank the Lord for allowing us to come down here to visit my daughter and to build. This is what we know how to do. We want to praise the Lord. And I love to come down here for a number of reasons, and then one of them, of course, is my daughter, but also just visit the people and do buildings and things that we can do that we sometimes can't do in the States.
Well, I didn't figure I'd turn 40 in Central America, Honduras, and I didn't expect any special treatment. What happened was I started my morning of Wednesday, May 21st, turning 40 by shoveling horse dung. And we all laughed about that because my special birthday and I'm shoveling dung. Actually, I was shoveling dung because I preferred that over going into this basement, which is dark and creepy and had spiders. And Michelle was being very kind about that. But what I did not suspect was that at lunchtime, as I walked in, they had decorated the entire kitchen for my 40th birthday. And Jenny, the other missionary here, she had made me a mocha coffee cake, which is a mocha chocolate cake with coffee in it, because they knew my love for both. And I had a piñata. And as a whole chorus of Hondurans in there, workers, people I didn't know, and people I did know, my team, they sang happy birthday to me, and I cried for the first time. I've never wanted to cry over blowing out candles. No other celebration has ever touched me as much as this birthday has, in the love that I got that I didn't ask for. And maybe what I got from this wasn't very profound or complex or anything, except that God was just telling me that He loves me. And sometimes you take that for granted. So what I got from this trip was definitely the love the finding contentment in very little, and how much Michelle Kratz has sacrificed to be a missionary in Honduras, coming from a place that's full of prosperity and food like America.
I don't think I can fully say how it's impacted me in just a minute or two, but the people here are amazing. Some of these people have nothing, and we have everything. And the Christians down here are some of the happiest people I've ever met. And when we went to the orphanage, that was a moving experience. These kids have a very bleak future, and we take so much for granted. We have no right to complain, ever. It's been a major experience and life-changing experience for me, one that I'll never forget.
A couple things. It's been a blessing to come. I'm thankful to the Lord for giving me the health and the strength to come here, and to the people who contributed so that we could come. And it's a blessing to see Michelle and her activity, her love for the Hondurans, and to see how the Hondurans love her. They just love Michelle to pieces. And it's been a blessing to see the improvements in the camp since we were here 2 years ago. This camp is a ministry. One of the ladies that was serving us in the kitchen was saved at camp here when Kathy Beard was down here. And there's a lot of hope for the future. Michelle ministers to several handicap groups, but otherwise it's being used. There was a group here when we came from a church. There's another group in yesterday and today from Christian school. And the pastor, who's retired from his secular job, is wanting to start a ministry to other pastors, and the cabins would be great for that. Michelle wants to start a program of retreats for missionary women, and the cabins would be good for that. So it's just a blessing to see this facility and see it being used, and it has so much possibilities for the future. It's been a blessing.
Coming from a camping experience in the past, coming here to share my skills and whatever else with Tim, the maintenance guy here, seeing that he's the only person that does most of the work here, I really appreciated the opportunity to come down here and help him out. And like the other guys have been saying, we drive down the roads around here, you see all the poverty. They just don't have anything, and you see the cattle and the horses and the dogs and everything else around here that are just skinny as can be. We have so much, and everything is so plush in the United States. This has really been a special experience. And I had when we went to the orphanage last night, I happened to have a pack of gum in my pocket, and a bunch of these little kids, I had a chance to give it to them, and you just saw the big smiles on their faces, and one of the little girls came up to me and gave me a big hug, and it was just great experience.
See the servant Moses in the Pharaoh's court. I hear his call for freedom for the people of the Lord. And when the saints go marching in, I want to be one of them. I see the long, quiet walk along the Underground Railroad. I see Harriet awakening to the value of her soul. I see the young missionary and the angry spear. I see his family returning with no trace of fear. I see the long, hard shadows of Calcutta nights. I see the sister standing by that dying man's side. I see the young girl huddled on the brothel floor. I see the man with a passion coming, kicking down that door. See the man of sorrow and his long troubled road. I see the world on his shoulders and my easy load.